hello there.
Here we are again. We find ourselves in the car.
Driving through another random suburb, Brisbane.
Oh dear. So, interesting question for you. Expenses, and how do we keep them on a tight leash but still comfortable, like without too much work having to do that, especially when a business is growing?
It's a good question. Growing pains are typical in a business, particularly if you're wanting to scale. And so the rate of growth, so the quicker you grow, the higher the risk. It's like going from 0 to 200 in a motor vehicle, and you're not ready for the takeoff. You could easily crash. And businesses can go through the same issue. So, for instance, they're trying to grow the business, but they're trying to get together. They've got to put money into the business for that to happen. But what's unknown is the amount of income that's going to generate. A typical example of that is marketing. Like, how much money do you throw at marketing if you're wanting to grow the business? Well, there are typical gauges we can use to grow comfortably. So roughly looking at 5 to 10% of revenue should be what you'd be spending on marketing. So obviously you throw that amount in, how much you've got there to start off with, a comfortable amount that you can manage. But don't just continue to throw money into marketing without the return on investment. As income grows naturally with the marketing process, that's when you naturally grow the marketing spend with that together. You don't throw it all into marketing, keep spending in the hope that it's going to generate income. That can be really risky. So big ticket items can be marketing, salaries and wages. Look at a baseline. What do you need to get the job done? And then as the business starts to grow, scale up slowly. Don't throw all your resources into the business at once. Just do it gradually as the income grows. So things like wages, 30% of revenue should be maximum you pay on wages, including superannuation. So
and rent I guess would be another big one.
Industry. Rent also, yeah, that's right, exactly.
So pretty much set those
so
budgets.
Maybe 5% of revenue should be on rent, things like that. So you've got some rough gauges you can use to try and make sure that your costs don't go out of control. The big items, you've got those in check, and therefore you're not going to be at risk of running your business off the road.
Good analogy. Would you say too, and I guess this is something that we find with our clients, it's good to have this chat, to work out these percentages, set these goals, and then what's the job of the business owner once the goals have been set?
Once the goals have been set, you know broadly what you need to do, but then break it down into weekly components. It's like the old adage, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. How do you achieve a sales target? 1 week at a time, 1 day at a time, and have that communicated clearly with your staff, and therefore you're not going to be caught out at the end of the month, end of the year, where you're thinking, wait a second, how do we get here, without being under control.
And if you've got targets to reach or budgets to keep, your job is to actually keep them.
Yeah, well,
the owner of the business. It
is, and you've got to look at changing circumstances. If things change, you've got to shift with it, but that's where you've got to be onto it every week if possible, to make sure that you can make those adjustments as needed as well. So,
love it. Yeah. So up-to-date figures are a huge part of that as well, aren't they?
You need to have your systems in place, your processes working, and you've got good quality data, high-level information that you can actually make good choices during the course of the week and every day, really.
Love it. Good chat. Thanks.